Has this ever happened to you? Someone invites you to do something, maybe go out for dinner or join a party, but you can't go. Maybe you're too busy. Maybe you don't want to go, but you feel a little nervous about saying no. Yeah, totally understandable. Saying no in English isn't always easy, so today let's learn how to do it.
Welcome to another Happy English podcast coming to you from New York City. And here's your English teacher, Michael.
All right, thank you, John, and thanks, everyone. It's Michael here from Happy English, and I help people speak English better. And this is Happy English Podcast, episode 932. How to politely refuse an invitation in English. Hey, thanks for joining me today. Before we get going, I wanted to let you know that you can find the Happy English Podcast on my YouTube channel. Just head over to YouTube and search for Happy English Michael. Okay, in this lesson, we're going to look at how we invite people in English, and more importantly, how to politely say no when you can't accept that invitation. This is super helpful for conversations at work, school, or even with friends. So, let's get started with invitations. You probably already know the basic patterns, like, are you free on Saturday night? Or, let's try that new restaurant. Or, would you like to go for coffee? Remember that the phrase, would you like to, is an indirect way to invite someone, and this kind of indirect language using would is commonly used in everyday English conversation. There's a difference in the nuance and politeness level between do you want to have dinner on Friday and would you like to have dinner on Friday? Do you want to is very direct, whereas would you like to has a more polite feel to it. Of course, it depends on the context, and native speakers use all kinds of different tones when inviting people. Some are soft, like, would you be interested in? Others are more direct, like, let's go, or come join us. And I think for most of you listening here today, saying yes to the invitation is easy. Like, you can use phrases like, of course, thanks, or that sounds great, thanks, or sure, I would love to go. Yeah, we even use would in the reply, like, would you like to go for lunch tomorrow? Yeah, I would love to. That same indirect language is used when we accept an invitation. Now, the tricky part comes when we need to say no. In English, especially in American English, we usually follow a kind of three-step pattern when we politely say no. First, you say thanks. Then, you politely say no. And third, you explain why. Yeah, rejections generally need those three steps. So, let's look at each one. The first thing we do when we refuse an invitation is to thank the person for inviting us. We almost always start with thanks, like, thanks for asking, or thanks for inviting me, or oh, thanks for the offer. This shows that you appreciate the invitation. The second step is to politely say no. Here, we don't just say no. Instead, we offer something softer, like, oh, I wish I could, or, ooh, I'm afraid I can't, or something like, I would love to, but I have to pass. See, this word would pops up a lot in these situations, doesn't it? So, start with thanks, and then politely say no, like, thanks for asking. I would love to go. And then comes the most important and often forgotten part of the refusal. the reason. When turning down an invitation, the thank you and the polite no are not enough in American culture. So we usually give one short reason, nothing too detailed, like, I have to work that day, or I already have plans, or any other reason you have to decline the invite. The reason is necessary. Here are a few examples in context.
Would you like to go for dinner tomorrow?
Thanks for asking. Oh, I wish I could, but I already have plans for tomorrow.
Here's another one.
Hey, we're having a barbecue on Sunday. Want to join us?
Oh, thanks for the invitation. I'm afraid I can't. You see, I'm going to visit my parents for the weekend.
Here's one more example.
Let's get coffee after class.
Thanks for asking. Sorry, I would love to, but I'm a little under the weather today.
See how polite and natural that sounds? Saying no with these three parts is friendly and it's clear. And it's something native speakers do all the time, even with close friends. And here's a tip. You don't need a long explanation why. Just one short reason is totally fine. Even something simple like, I have a class that night, or I'm busy with my family is enough. And your tone matters. A friendly voice, a small smile if you're in person, that goes a long way in showing you're being polite. Again, when you need to decline an invitation, you say thanks, say no politely, and then give a brief reason why. Doing so will make your English sound more friendly and more natural. And hey, if you want to practice this kind of English with me, and a group of other awesome English learners, come check out my Podcast Learners Study Group. We meet every week and practice the language from these podcast lessons together. It's a great way to improve your speaking and build confidence. And have a lot of laughs along the way. Just check the link where you're listening to this podcast right now, or visit myhappyenglish.com and choose podcast episode 932 for more info. And thanks for listening. Remember, learning another language is not easy, but it's not impossible. And I'm here to help you on your journey.
This podcast was brought to you by Happy English. Please visit myhappyenglish.com. Show your support for Happy English by leaving us a review. Get English, get happy, Happy English.